Home of two-wheeled unicycles, Herms, don't believe the signs, and people who walk fast. But beneath all of this surface charm beats the heart of game development in Australia. The state of Victoria is home to 121 development studios and houses some of the country's best talent. And that's why, for the second year running, Melbourne is the home of the International Games Week, when the city is consumed by game culture and events. And developer GREE have taken the opportunity to celebrate the opening of their new Melbourne studio.
Andrew, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
What is GREE?
GREE is a developer of games globally, based in Tokyo, Japan. We represent the Western business, which is GREE International Entertainment. It's a very long name. We call it GIE. And our mandate is to build amazing games for Western audiences.
And so what brought Twitch with two eyes, which is very confusing, we're going to get to that very shortly, to the eye of this giant company?
We had been in the market looking and talking with a number of different developers in the space. Our business team is out there just talking with leading developers in general, trying to get a stake for who are the best teams, where's the best talent. We'd always had a good view into Australia, and through that lens we were introduced to the Twitch team, and right away we found this was a team that was really operating at another level. Not just from a leadership perspective with Stephen and Shane, who you'll meet later on, but also in terms of the team that they'd built around them and the longevity of that team working together on some of what we thought were really groundbreaking mobile titles. And that, coupled with the fact that we had a shared vision for slowly taking over the world with good games, things kind of worked out.
And so, I mean, on that, I saw that GREE in San Francisco has actually cut about 30% of its workforce. But
Yep.
Here in Australia, you've opened up this giant office with a great view, and you've got a bunch of people out there. What made Australia a place that you felt like you could invest in?
It's the market overall has matured, and it's changed quite a bit over the last 3 to 4 years. And for those of us that have been in and around the space for the last couple decades, we've seen this cycle before, where a new platform launches, whether it's console or PC or arcade, it grows to massive scale with tons of developers feeding the ecosystem, and then you see consolidation. At that moment of consolidation, the dominant strategy by far, and something that we embarked on, I would say first for an American company, is to go to where the talent is. And so when we were introduced to the Twitch team and the quality of the broader team here in the office, we saw it as a unique chance to do what the American companies were not doing, which was establish a talent foothold in a market that has a long and storied history of building great games, whether it be on console or PC or mobile, and then to build around that. And that's what you see here. This office with this view and this team is precisely the result of that prescience.
It's mainly the view, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Stephen, so who are Twitch? What do you guys make?
So Twitch is a mobile company that Shane Stevens and I started in 2010. So our focus is on core gamers, and we've since expanded the studio as part of GREE to focus on a wider audience.
And how did you get into games? What's your background?
So my background is originally in console and PC. So a long time ago, I started making games even for like 8-bit consoles down here in Melbourne, and learned the industry, and actually went into a startup called Blue Tongue, which was ended up being one of the premier console studios in Melbourne. Blue Tongue was quite prolific. We made a number of games. The most notable were probably Jurassic Park and The Blob.
The Blob was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah. No, thank you for The Blob. And so what attracted you to mobile gaming?
Well, Shane and I had been looking at the free-to-play space for quite some time as it was emerging from Asia, and it was nascent in the West at that point. And we saw obviously the intersection of mobile and free-to-play, and saw a sort of a booming opportunity there that we felt we were poised to take on.
And what do you want to add to that market that, you know, it's not just a space that you thought you could make a game? Like, what do you want to make that people haven't seen before?
So I think mobile started with some much more simple games, and we're looking to add more depth of gameplay. So that experience of working in console and making real games and real value for customers is what we're about. That's what really brought us to GREE. In terms of GREE's vision for creating franchises. Our background is that when we look at products, we always look at them in terms of building a franchise and building something which has a lore and depth. So those are all the things we bring to mobile.
And so what was the process like when GREE came along? Because you're kind of giving up your baby at that point.
Yeah, it's a really difficult decision. I mean, we had that experience from Pluton. We actually sold to THQ, so that was also a natural marriage. We were doing a lot of licensed products, and THQ was a natural partner doing a lot of licensed products. With GREE, really, it was just the ambition of, particularly with Andrew Shepherd coming on board, we saw that there was an ambitious push to create next-generation mobile games, and we were talking actually for quite some time before we were not selling our baby.
And how are you making sure that you're not just falling into the GREE wheelhouse, that you are, keeping the identity that you've formed yourself?
Yeah, it's a really good question, actually. We know from that past experience that acquisitions can go either way. So, we spend a lot of time pre-acquisition, making sure we're aligned in terms of future vision. And, we work actually very closely with San Francisco and, leverage our relative strengths. So here we have an incredible production team, some really talented project managers and artists and engineers. In San Francisco, we have some really great talent around product management, marketing, consumer insights and operations. And so we both sort of leverage each other's strengths without stepping on each other's toes.
And finally, we need to talk about the name Twitch.
Yes.
Who came up with this first?
You're actually the first person to ask that question.
That is 100% a lie. Don't you dare flatter me like that.
So when we first started the company, it was actually Twitch, as it's now known, was actually Justin TV.
And your original name was Justin TV as well?
Yes, yeah. So we changed to Twitch to get away from Justin TV, and then we actually thought Twitch, because that really speaks to our gaming roots. Twitch games are games that people really feel enthusiastic about. And
look, no one's arguing that it's not a fantastic name.
It was a fantastic name, and then at that point when we were saying, okay, these guys are getting really big, we were really deep in conversations with GREE, and now we're GREE Melbourne. So.
Was that, shut your ears for a second, GREE man, was that the real reason you signed the deal, just to get away from the name?
It was the only choice.
Knew it. Do you think that there's an opportunity for GREE to be acquiring more local devs? Is that something you're looking into?
We definitely want to be an active member of the community. Creative Victoria in general, has done an excellent job of cultivating an ecosystem that has a large number of indie developers, in addition to a large number of established companies like GREE or EA with their Fire Monkey studio. We are actively recruiting and building around the team that was originally Twitch with two eyes. And our intention is to actually keep that team as the focus for our AAA, basically next-gen mobile games, which target mid-core and hardcore audiences. So we're not actively searching, but we are definitely hoping to contribute to the ecosystem, whether it be training up talent or building new capability or co-investing with Creative Victoria.
So I shouldn't send anyone to the office just yet?
Well, if they're good, yes, please.
Okay. The mobile market is crazily cutthroat. How do you guys stand out?
So 2 years ago when I joined, one of the things that we established out the gate was if we're going to do this mobile gaming development bit, we were going to do it well, which is why we brought the Twitch team on board, but we're also going to do it in a way that was different from the marketplace. If you look at the top charts now, people are pretty much relegated to either doing licenses of movie properties or sports or doing sequels. And we believe that consumers are excited about that today, but they're not going to be excited about that tomorrow. They want
I would argue we're not excited about it today.
Well, perfect. Great. And you guys being ahead of the market in many ways, being tastemakers, you can see this coming. For us, it's really important that we build something that's never been seen before and do it in a way with a level of quality that people don't yet expect from mobile. And so the Melbourne team is doing one of the most ambitious projects at the company globally. It's our largest development effort. It's the largest team. From a complexity standpoint, it's something that requires all of our most senior staff working on it to even make heads or tails of what we're doing. But at the end of the day, you'll see a game show from this office, which has never been seen before, based on original IP that aims to establish a universe, a story with real characters and real lore that people can get excited about.
Can you talk about it now?
Absolutely not.
Can you give me anything?
No.
Just like one picture. What is the first letter of the name? Come on, no one's gonna guess it. No one's gonna guess it. You don't even need to say the right letter.
That view is so beautiful, though.
V. Is it V? No. It's V, confirmed. Look, finally, we all know that giant companies are evil.
Yeah.
But you seem very nice, and everyone here seems very nice. How do you go about when you bring in, you acquire a new dev that's like a smaller team? How do you make sure that you don't sort of homogenize or sort of squash the thing that you saw in them in the first
This
place?
is actually the hardest part of it, and something that we actually are actively working on and talking about. The most foundational component, I think, for bringing a big company together with a smaller team is just upfront defining like a clear goal against what you're charging, and then to allow a degree of flexibility around getting to that goal, but always with a long-term commitment to maintain the initial promise that was established in the deal. And Stephen, Shane, and I talk about this actually on a fairly regular basis. Our intent is to get to this future state, shipping a game that's never been seen before in the marketplace with a level of ambition that most companies can't do independently, with a marketing strategy that most companies can't self-fund. But along the way, you have to make changes, and they were understanding of that, especially having already sold a studio before to THQ. But there's a balance there. If it swings too much in the favor of the big company and their evil ways, then obviously the product doesn't come out as good as it should be, and the miss is with consumers. Conversely, if you stay too much in the way the team was operating before, you're not going to realize the benefits of being part of something bigger. And so it's a dialogue for sure, and it's something that ebbs and flows between being perfect and being out of place.
Yeah.
But we are committed to making it work
Cool.
and being less evil.
Being less evil.
Yeah.
So you are acknowledging that big companies are
Well,
evil.
some people are evil.
Yeah, that's true.
We try to be less.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is it W?
Yeah.
F. B.
Closer.
It's in the A to E range.
You've got it.
We all get in a room, we talk a lot, and we create a product, and we're all very, very different. And so this kind of event A sort of preps us for that. It's a way of getting to know people who are really different to yourself, people from different fields, artists, programmers, audio engineers, writers, all of the above, and getting to know them and learning how that works, and eventually, forming teams like Hipster Whale, who made Crossy Road, was formed right here at GCAP in 2013.